Are you clean?
No, I don't really use drugs.
Okay. What about, have you ever seen someone like me before? A therapist
Mm,
or a counselor, maybe a
not
doctor?
really.
Okay. So you don't take things like medications as well?
No.
Okay. Um, so let's go back to a little bit more about how you're feeling today.
Oh,
Uh, so when you're describing the tiredness, is it, so it's not like a sleepy tired, right? It's more of a fed up with things and it causes you to have a bit of
yeah.
short fuse?
Honestly, sometimes I feel like I don't need any sleep at all.
Okay. So do you keep do you keep like an average sleep pattern or do you just find it difficult to fall asleep?
No, sometimes I feel like I don't need any sleep. Sometimes I feel like I could just get like 4 hours of sleep and I'm good to go, ready to go.
Do you struggle to wake up at all when it's like that?
No, I wake up, I feel completely rested. I'm good to go. I'm ready. I feel like I've had
Why?
4 cups of coffee. It's time to go. I got things to do. Oh, you guys have coffee over here.
We do. Would you like a cup?
No, I'm probably good without it, honestly.
Okay then. And when you say that you've got things to do, so do you think you've got like almost like a drive to do all the things in your day?
Oh yeah, I got lots of things to do. I'm gonna be the manager of that petrol station real soon, I think.
Okay. So you have some ambition to move up in the ranks?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the best person for the job, so of course they're gonna make me the manager.
Okay. Do you have any more goals? Any greater aspirations than a petrol station?
Yeah, maybe one day I'll open up my own shop. I mean, I think people would really like the things I'd keep in stock, honestly. I was thinking I could have a little area with candies that the kids would like, and then could do like some uh, books or even some like art supplies, and then we could have like your practical things as well. It could be like a little corner store.
Oh, okay. So you want to be more than just a petrol station? You want to be able to help the kids out?
Yeah, I figure I get some experience in customer service and in, a little shop like at the petrol station, and then I'll be more qualified and ready to run my own store. Because I think, I'm the best person to run that kind of store. It just comes naturally to me.
Okay. And do you ever worry about your customer service when you get a bit down?
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, it's just a fluke because obviously I'm the best person for the job.
What do you think makes you the best person for the job?
I'm just really good at it. All the customers always love me, and I always know just what products to give them, and there's rarely any complaints. I'm just so good at knowing what they want, and I can tell even before they open their mouth.
Do you think you might be doing a little bit too much for them?
No, no, no. They always appreciate it.
Yeah, they always appreciate it, but maybe you're doing a little bit too much. Like they'll still appreciate it if you scaled it down a little bit, just so you
But then
don't
I
put
wouldn't
too
be the
much strain on
best.
yourself. You don't need to be the best to satisfy the customers, but you should definitely try and look after yourself and a little bit more. You don't want to find yourself falling tired and also running on 4 hours of sleep. It's not good for your body.
No, I'll be fine. In fact, I'm thinking about buying a storefront real soon. I mean, I haven't really saved up enough money to do it, but I've almost got enough. And then when the store's successful, I'll still be okay. Just got to make sure that it's successful so I can make sure I can still pay my rent.
Okay. Do you worry about it not being successful at all?
No, it's definitely going to be successful.
Do you have any backup plans if it isn't?
Well, why would I have a backup plan? It's clearly going to be successful. If you have a backup plan, you're not 100% committed, are you?
I mean, you could view it as if you have a backup plan, you're a little bit more than 100% committed. You're also committed to your livelihood as well, because if you put everything into something, it could cause issues if it doesn't work there. You can do amazingly, but there can be factors that are out of your control that can disrupt things.
No, I think it'll be okay. Besides, I got to be committed. If you're not in it 100%, then someone else is going to get your dream, not you. Everybody has dreams, and the difference between people who succeed and people who don't succeed is their commitment.
Okay, you're very ambitious about this. How long have you dreamed of something like this for? Has it been a while, or is it more of a recent thing?
Well, I thought it might be a good idea to own a shop, and recently I've just been thinking, why wait? Why, wait? I know that I, wanted to get some experience at the petrol, but I've done that. I've worked there about 2 years. I think I'm ready to, open up my own shop. I saved a little bit of money, almost got enough to buy a storefront. I won't have much left over, but it'll be fine.
Do you think not having much left over could be a little bit harmful towards yourself?
No, it'll be okay. I mean, nothing's gonna go wrong, so I got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, assuming nothing goes wrong, but do you think there's really still an issue with maybe waiting a little bit longer just to save up a little bit more money for yourself so you're a bit more comfortable?
I mean, I don't need much to get by. I should be okay. Besides, the store's gonna be a huge hit.
There still could be a huge hit, but the first few months of business can be really hard. You've got to establish yourself with your clientele a little bit more so they know to come to you there.
Oh,
Not
you
going to
don't think
go.
I'm gonna succeed? I think everything will be just okay. I mean,
I
I've
think you'll
thought of all the
definitely
different things. I
do a
think that
good
nothing
job.
could go wrong.
I think you'll definitely do a good job, but it's a race. It's not a marathon. Wait, no, the other way around. It's a marathon. It's not a race. You need to be able to save your energy at the start so you can be in it for the long haul. You don't want to burn
Yeah, but
yourself
I
out
could probably run
immediately.
3 marathons and still be okay. So it's all right if I run this marathon kind of fast.
Quite the energy you've got there,
Well,
and the
it's
confidence
like
as
I said, my
well.
friends sometimes call me like I'm an like Energizer Bunny. That's why they get so worried about me. I think when I get a little tired, but I think it's okay. I think maybe just sometimes I need a rest, and then I'm back to being okay again.
Do you think your friends worry more about you when you're energetic or when you're tired?
I mean, sometimes they worry about me making rash decisions, maybe, but I think they worry a lot more about me when I'm tired. It's when I got energy, I can go, I can do things, I can have fun, I can do my job. I mean, I get a little distracted sometimes, but honestly, I think it's okay.
Do you think you could be a little bit impulsive when you've got a lot of energy?
Maybe a little bit, but it always turns out good. I mean, nothing ever really goes wrong.
Just because something hasn't gone wrong yet doesn't mean it won't go wrong in the future. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Making sure things go your way as much as possible. There will be bumps in the road, and you look like the kind of person that will be able to overcome the bumps, but you just need to be ready for when they come.
I think I am ready for them.
Okay. Do you do you have any strategies in place for maybe possible competitors?
Competitors? I mean, there's the petrol stations, but I think I've done good research on them by working there for like 2 years. Basically already know there's everything to know about being in a petrol station. I mean, 2 years is a long time.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there.
Oh,
Thank God.
We're gonna go ahead and do about 5 minutes for notes, and then we'll discuss.
I
man,
love
you're
that,
scary.
Red. Thank God.
Patient might not need coffee, but I do.
Especially this early in the morning, definitely needed coffee.
It's not even early. What are you even talking about?
It's me.
Yeah, fair.
I don't normally wake up until an hour later.
Well, aren't you glad we moved the sessions an hour back?
That's the thing, I didn't know you. Honestly, I didn't realize you did. So I got up an hour earlier than needed.
Alec, what do you think?
I think there's bipolar there. We very clearly had a hypomanic episode at the end, but I would need more time with the depressive side to make a decision because I don't think it really fell into a depressive episode, really. It was more just straight running out of energy. I may be completely missing a condition here that's just gone straight over my head. But the hypomanic side of things is very, very hypomanic. But I don't think the depression falls into a really deep lull. I think the depressive side is mainly a reaction, the body's reaction to the hypomanic episode with it being so increasingly active. It's just completely falls into needing rest, but she can't get the rest because she was saying that she at most sleeps like 4 hours a day. She worries a lot about things, gets irritated really easily from the tiredness. And then the hypomanic side has the classic self-esteem, grandiosity, goal-oriented activity, participating in things that could have bad outcomes because she's investing everything into a new storefront and not really considering the consequences. But yeah, I would probably go with maybe a hypomanic episode of Bipolar 1. But I feel like I would be just completely missing something here.
Okay, Misty?
That was exactly what I was thinking was bipolar 1. After having to mentally go through differences between bipolar 1 and 2. Because, yeah, she did have the, not a low depressive episode, but depressive episode. But immediate burst of energy being, the manic episode that she just bursted into. But that was all I could see from that as well, to be honest.
Okay. It was bipolar 1. Very good.
Yeah, I feel like she wasn't being completely honest about just how low her low was. 'Cause she's trying to not be a burden.
Ren, I love you.
I know I should have made it more obvious.
No, would you just let me explain why things were the way they were? Because I love you. Because I was actually going to get to that. Okay. So, like Ren said, even though she was our lovely patient, she was very clearly hiding how low her low was going. And because she was trying to hide that, that's what.
Ignore that.
Oh, okay.
Unless you really want me to bring you right here.
No. So she was very clearly hiding the depressive episode. There were very strong indicators of that. And so the bipolar 1 fits. And of course, there were 2 different types of episodes, right? That does happen from time to time. It's not as common as a single episode, but having a switch between 2 episodes does happen. So let's talk treatments. Alec.
Your favorite medication, Symbiox? I think it's called. The controlling the highs and the lows. Normal talk therapy, group therapy, CBT to create a stable lifestyle to bring down the risk-taking behavior of the manic side and then level out the depressive side. That's
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Misty.
still need to do research on those. I'm sorry.
You don't have to do the medication. What kind of?
No. I mean, like figuring out, therapies and stuff like that. It's still a struggle for me.
Okay. I would highly recommend we do the talking therapy, which is called CBT. Basically, what you'd want to do, and I stressed this last night, is when you're looking at a diagnosis that is complicated, like bipolar, because bipolar is a complicated diagnosis, regardless of what anyone says. Because it is so complicated, it is a very good idea to have the patient for the next session have a journal. 2 to 3 entries. Obviously, you give them the option of up to 7, just to figure out what their routine is and to go from there. Because once you have a routine down, you can start seeing patterns on when the switching is occurring. And with having the patterns of the switching occurring, you can then recommend additional treatments for that. It makes it very easy to develop treatment plans behind it and then go from there.
Yeah.
And then for the medication, like you said, Alec, Symbiex is a compound medication. It's olazapine and fluoxetine. Unless our bipolar was experiencing hallucinations or visualizations that are not there, I wouldn't probably suggest that because we don't really need the olazapine. The fluoxetine, however, is a wonderful medication for decreasing the lows and decreasing the highs and stabilizing that mood. That is one of my go-tos for bipolar and a couple of other ones, because it also has a very low interactivity with other medications that they could potentially be taking, with the exception, of course, of alcohol. We don't want them having alcohol while being on a mood stabilizer. That just won't help anybody. But it also doesn't interact with THC. So they can actually have a low dose of fluoxetine and supplement it with a little bit of cannabis to keep the mood stabilized without having to have a high dose of that particular medication. Now, of course, that doesn't work for everybody, but that is an option. And I don't want anyone to be scared of suggesting cannabis because you can't overdose on THC. It's not possible.
When, say, like, a situation like that comes up where, like, a cannabis therapy would be best, do we, like, have to go with something like that? Because, like, I personally don't like cannabis therapy at all. Would we just refer the patient to another therapist here, or?
Why do you not like cannabis therapy, Alec?
I hate how gateway it is into other drug-seeking behaviors. I think regardless whether it's in a medical setting, it very easily turns into a recreational setting, and I have next to no faith in people to keep it just a medical therapy.
That sounds like something that we need to talk about, because in a medical setting, I mean, it's used by medical doctors, not just therapists.
Yeah.
Like it's used to treat a lot of diseases that cause muscle control issues. Parkinson's being a big one.
I don't think I would recommend a patient smoke marijuana.
No. We wouldn't ever recommend smoking because, number one, inhaling anything is bad for you. Let's be honest. But this is where, like, a half or a quarter of an edible.
And they make some strains specifically for medical purposes that have less of a psychoactive effect.
And there's also CBD. Does that make sense, Alec?
It makes sense, but I don't know if my bias against cannabis is something I can move past.
I would highly recommend reading a few articles. I'm happy to send some to you. because we need to use all of our tools available.
Yeah, like I've tried before. Like I am extreme. Like I hate that cannabis has a recreational side. It's like it should be completely different from the medical side of it as well, but I just can't get over the bias in my head that people use it recreationally as well.
Okay. I guess I'm running into the problem where it would be very similar if someone said, well, I don't want to give someone fluoxetine because I don't believe in mood stabilizers.
Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like I can't give an explanation for that because
I guess it'd be
I
more
underst-
similar to
I-
someone having an objection to something like Xanax, because Xanax also has street use.
yeah, because it's
Well,
like
I mean, every psychiatric drug has a street use depending on how you want to use it. Let's be real honest about that.
Technically.
Mhm.
I mean, I've heard reports of people crushing up olanzapine and snorting it. So it's not like medications can't be abused regardless of what they are. But what we need to do as therapists, all of us, is we need to embrace all potential therapies, even if we disagree with them.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could
Because-
see where there'd be a concern if a patient has a history of drug abuse. Being careful about what medications you give them because they're
Right.
at a higher risk too.
Right, but you also need to
Abuse.
realize THC also doesn't have any addictive qualities to it. That's the thing.
Mhm.
It's the addictiveness that is associated with marijuana has to do with a habit. If someone's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
an addiction
addicted,
to the feeling.
it's addiction to the feeling. It's not addiction to the substance because there's no withdrawal symptoms for it. There's nothing that
Yeah.
makes you physically addicted to the substance, unlike Xanax or oxycodone or take your pick of muscle relaxers that are out there because there's a lot of them, right?
I think like so a lot of my issue is well, like yeah, I completely understand that it's not addictive. It's what Ren was saying is that you prescribe it to someone through like an edible means and they start getting a feeling of the high that it gives them, that the relief that it gives them as a therapy. And then when they no longer need that anymore, it's something that they can get a hold of extremely easily that isn't barred behind a prescription anymore. They know that what was in that edible is something that they can go out and smoke. And so that it ends up it's a gateway drug. It transitions into that drug seeking lifestyle and then moves on to things a lot more problematic when those highs aren't effective anymore because their body gets used to it.
But it's not a gateway drug.
It's the like high chasing habit. It's what a lot of people start with.
Actually, I've read a couple studies on that part in which that the fact that most people start with marijuana has less to do with the fact that marijuana is encouraging them to seek other highs and more to do with the fact that marijuana is the most available drug. So people who have drug seeking tendencies start with marijuana because it's the thing they can get their hands on.
It's the easiest acquirable. And what's interesting about that is that those that have legalized it, they have a significant drop in drug abuse with the other ones, unless they were already going to be drug abusers to begin with. Which again is a habit issue, not a drug issue. It's no different than someone who's addicted to the motion of popping pills, even if they're ibuprofen. Ibuprofen's not
point. Sorry.
ibuprofen's not addictive. You can overdose, but it's not addictive. There's no addictive qualities to ibuprofen, but someone will pop a pill to make them feel better because it's the motion that does it. It's the habit that does it.
And
And on
also a
that
part of
point-
this comes from like the cultural lifestyle I had when I lived in Australia, because of like even medical marijuana is not allowed there.
Fair. What were you gonna say, Misty? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and even on that point, there's another thing you can work on with them
Right, because
if it does go to that.
right. So I just want to make sure that we're all understanding that even if you disagree with certain therapies or certain methods of therapy, we do need to consider any and all options, regardless of our bias against it. That's our job as therapists.
Vanessa doesn't like me using EMDR.
True. I don't. I don't believe it provides a lot of the help that Aya does. But even if I don't believe that, it doesn't prevent me from using it if I'm out of other options. And I have. So it's not something that I'm, it's not something that, I personally would use right away, or I would use as like my go-to. But when I'm exhausting my therapy options, I'm going to use it because it's another tool in our belt. We need to look at these as tools that we use, as opposed to don't touch that hammer because the hammer's too big.
This shouldn't be the first thing we touch.
Right. I'm not saying, yeah, give everyone weed. By all means, I don't think I'm like, yes, we need to give everybody weed. But we need to look at the mood stabilizing effects, the benefits is what we need to look at. And people will want to use weed instead of fluoxetine because of the negative connotations that mood stabilizers have for psychiatric medications. It's no different than when we're fighting people's perception of us all being manipulative abusers.
Sorry, I have to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you okay, Misty?
Yeah, I have head things to go to.
Okay. So it's something that we need to keep in mind. And I'm sure people are not super keen about hypnotherapy either, but it's one of the tools that I do use when, again, I've exhausted all other options. Because at some point you have to use everything in your tool belt to try to help the person. Now, if that doesn't work, that's why we have Twin Rivers. That's literally the reason we have Twin Rivers. And I would like to see Twin Rivers be the last tool that we use, simply because they have 24/7 psychiatric care, and we can't replicate that here. As much as I would love to have an army of 80 fucking psychiatrists on staff 24/7.
You would fall over dead before being able to train that many.
I have trained quite a few. You'd be surprised.
Oh god.
Yeah, they all just leave.
So on that note, I highly recommend that you don't have quite such a negative connotation of that, Alec. And I understand where you're coming from. I do. I was raised in a very strict household as well, where any and all drugs were, you don't do it. And then I even went through the DARE program in the US when I was younger, where they were like, they would, bring a rolled joint into a classroom full of 5th and 6th graders, essentially, and be like, this is what one looks like, don't ever do it. And then when I got back to the teacher, instead of having 1, he had 4.
Someone's at the...
Like,
Okay.
I get it. I do. But everyone's an adult and they have to make the decisions for themselves. And sometimes a low dose of CBD or THC is more helpful than any form of fluoxetine, because not everyone responds to our psychiatric medication as much as I would love them to. Because everyone's brain chemistry is different. And not everyone responds to THC. Let's be honest. It's the same reason why, I can drink Aya under a table, but you give me half an edible, and I'm done for the night.
The bigger box has the command book.
Oh god.
Like,
What I want
Yeah.
to do is
That's
I
what
can't
it
go near
is.
it.
away from them.
that's what it is. And I'm not saying that you have to go near it, Alec, but I need you to understand that it is a tool that you have,
It should fit over there. quite
even if
easily.
you don't want to jump to it right away.
Hanging against
In
the
Alec's
And that's
defense,
okay.
he did ask if
floor.
if he thought that was a good thing for a patient, if he could refer them to another therapist.
Yeah, I feel like I could do it if I could trust the patient. Trust them not to abuse it.
Well, it's no different than when people come to me for prescriptions, right?
Yeah.
So come to myself or Aya, and we'll give you our input. How about that?
Yeah, that'll definitely be helpful.
Like, that's-
I don't think I could bring myself to prescribing it myself without having input from someone else
Oh, we
later
don't.
down the track.
Yeah, we don't prescribe marijuana. Like, we don't have to write a prescription. There's no reason for that. Because it's legal here in the state.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have to write a prescription. Okay. All right. Well, that's the meeting then for today. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
And then, like I said, if there's any therapies you're uneasy with, talk to myself and Aya, and we can help you. Not just you, Alec, but anybody, right? That's why we're here as command. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of our job. Is to help people to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to us so much help as well. Could never do this by ourselves.
That's understandable, my dear. It can be very overwhelming. I get that.
Hurry up and find another AU therapist so I don't have to do cool 8 hours by myself.
I need to have an AU therapist show up. That's not crazy. How about that?
I mean, Blake qualifies as crazy. That's pretty good.
Well, Blake's very good. It's just he doesn't have the same. He has a slightly different schedule than Alec does. And I need one more in Alec's time zone specifically.
So, Blake's exact same time zone as me. He's just
Around at
different.
different times.
Oh, he's just around differently.
Yeah, he's around. From what I can tell, he's like around for like a very specific short period of time, and unfortunately, it doesn't lean into. It's more of the extremely early morning NA, and like mid to late evening for us. So all the early morning NA people, which I have a lot of, / really late AU people, that's the like time zone that needs to be filled, and Blake can't do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's a more of like, I genuinely don't know if there's anybody he could take because of that weird timing.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I need one more in your time zone that's around when you are. But the last couple that we've had that have been around when you are were very poor candidates.
I think some of the thing is as well is that people don't know that Blake's MHS. I don't
Yes.
think Blake tells people.
They do. They know he's MHS. I promise you, they know he's MHS.
Not mainly LSMS staff, more people in the city, because my last like 3 patients / 4 patients soon to be have come to me because they know I'm a therapist at this time. Like, they don't even really put a request in at the hospital, but they just come to me directly. because they know I'm a therapist, like, it's spread by, like, word of mouth. Whereas I don't think that really happens with Blake, because most of the just normal people don't know that he does NHS.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, thank you both for coming. It's good to see both of you, and I will see you hopefully next week, Friday or Saturday or both.
Yep. Should we expect, like, the psych evals for psychologists to be done during these meetings or separately?
What do you mean?
You said you needed to do a psych eval on us for psychologist
Oh,
training,
I will. Don't worry.
but, like, is it one of the things where you want to do it in a meeting here
Nope.
for
Nope.
everybody to watch?
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, because it's our real patient information.
Yeah, it's real patient information, so we would never do it in a training
Okay.
because I'm actually doing an actual psych eval on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Yep.
looking forward to that.
See, Vanessa already has an advantage when she's already my therapist. So she already knows most of the answers to my psych eval.
I know a lot of them, but yeah. So that's something that no, I wouldn't ever do that in front of a group because it is your information. It's no one else's information. And I wouldn't ever have that information in front of a group because we don't know who all's going to be here, right?
Yeah,
But-
it's not just staff these days.
Yeah, it could end up being just staff, but we've also we've had PD here, we've had DOJ here, we've had civilians here, so I would
and like your medical history and your childhood setting and all that is nobody else's business.
yeah, it is. It's no one else's business. It really isn't. So, okay, you two have a good day. I'll see you later.
Yep. I need to see if Sean's actually coming or if he's still sick.
Okay, good point.
Far too many texts sent.
Yep.
41 texts. Aha.
Okay, I don't have any appointments until like 4 hours or from now. Did you need me for something, Ren?
I asked Oxford to debate with me.
Okay. Is he meeting you up here then?
No, he's not meeting me right now.
Okay.
That regarding the
I
matter
was just-
that you were talking about?
Yeah, Becky said she didn't want it because she might arbitrate it.
Who, Becky?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fair.
Should be
And
good
I don't know
arbiter
if I'm
anyway.
actually going through with a lawsuit or not, but I mean, get his advice and maybe ask him to help me prepare for the tribunal, of which I gave Chris several conditions of my participation.
Yes,
no
it's good to
reply, I
have-
take it.
It's always good to have a lawyer with you at that tribunal.
Yeah, and I told him that I would only participate if he could provide evidence of any other doctor being treated in this manner or cite a policy that will be followed going forward.
My advice when Oxford gets here, give him $1. Before you
I
even...
told him I was going to pay him regardless of if I decided to go through a trial.
No,
And I'm not meeting with him
I
right
mean,
now.
give
I
him
just
a-
texted him asking to set up a call.
Okay. When you meet with him, give him $1.
She's gonna pay him.
Yes, but if you give it $1 straight away, it puts him straight into that contract.
That's why she's just gonna pay him when he gets to there to meet him. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
you do with a lawyer.
Well, no, some lawyers like to listen and then decide
Oh
from
fuck no. No, I immediately pay my lawyer before I do anything. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
there. Because some lawyers are just in for the win.
Yeah, they are.
And those are the lawyers that do that.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
Oxburg may not be able to take it.
He can take it.
Well, he's doing the Maria and Kasaya thing.
Doesn't matter. He can still take it.
Well, he's doing the Maria and Kasai thing. I thought Amanda was.
No.
So Amanda never did anything.
Wait, well, he's not doing the Maria and Kasai thing because the statute of limitations is over.
Well, he's suing Amanda because of it. With them.
Oh,
That doesn't prevent him from taking your stuff. It wouldn't prevent him because that case has nothing to do with her.
well, and if he can't do it, then Becky has to do it because she's literally the only lawyer left.
Piper.
Piper's a
It's for the hospital. She won't
LSMS
do it.
lawyer.
That's why you're fighting against Chris.
But
But
she can't.
There would be a conflict of interest, probably. It's that or Kylie. She's the only other lawyer that exists that I can think of.
There's a couple others, but they're like never around. To be fair.
And honestly, I would do better representing myself, I think.
Someone is texting me and they're not telling me their name.
Who is it? What's the number?
616-6386.
That's Alec.
Okay, well, he needs to tell me his name.
He's our employee. Just add his number. That's what I do when he's our employee.
Well, I'm getting this text. Well, put it this way. I'm getting this text about somebody who is...
Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap for a few hours because I don't have anything going on. So
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
You want to lift up Sunday?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
Why are you calling me?
'Cause I was trying to catch you before you passed out in your office because I thought you were going to take a nap in your office.
I'm going to. What's up?
I was just going to let you know I reached back out to Robert about Elf, the dementia patient. Because no one's taking care of him in the 2 weeks I've been suspended.
No one's taking care of him?
Well, there's no MDT entry saying that he was checked for dementia, so
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I would have put in an outpatient request, but I thought that he would go and like talk to. I told him he needed to talk to someone from PHS because I couldn't do the evaluation.
So has he gone?
Hasn't gotten anything. They haven't done anything for him.
The question is, has he gone to the hospital?
I don't. I probably not. I texted him and offered that I can do the evaluation now.
Okay,
So we'll see if he replies.
Unfortunately, in that case, it's a case of him not.
Yeah, no, it's on him.
I mean, it's
How long
on.
ago did Anne pass away?
Who?
Anxiety.
And didn't pass away.
He hasn't.
No, she didn't. She died for about 30 seconds and then came back. Like, she flatlined and no one wrote an MDT entry about it.
Well, she's not on the database anymore.
It's because you're not spelling her name right because she doesn't. It's Annie Zayed. I'll write it down for you.
Okay, now I've found her. Her name's written wrong everywhere, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's because the government spelled her name wrong. They wrote down the phonetic spelling instead of the way she spells it, and so it's one way in half of the places and another way in the other half.
Okay, well, apparently, according to this, she informed somebody that she had an aneurysm and died. So she was
Yes,
aware she
Missy.
died.
I believe the local doctors told her or
Okay.
something. I don't know. She spoke.
Okay.
I know she spoke to Alec about it. He was talking about it when we showed up. And hold on, let me find which one it is. I have a relevant form for you about Missy and Anne.
Okay, now I'm gonna go pass out. Have fun.
Thank you.
I'll be back in a few hours.
Because essentially stuff has happened between Anne and Missy before that Anne was concerned that Missy would kill her if she ever snitched about it.
That's police.
Yeah, but it's potentially relevant
Hi,
to
Chris.
the fact that she was
Hello, how's it going?
Missy's patient.
Busy.
Oh, sorry.
I need to figure out which of these testimonies it is.
She's a doctor. Doctor in training, it would be police side, it would be PHS side.
She's also in EMS. I think she was EMS on EMS
Yeah,
duty
but
at
they
the
want to
time.
separate it, so it's PHS. I can pass it on to Cricket.
Okay.
I understand she's primary EMS, but apparently they're going to make that decision, so... There's not much I can do. But this needs to be passed on to police. Is it the one
It's
where she was...
way past
hurt?
the statute of limitations. No, it's the one where Missy like threatened her because Anne said something about Tiffany's butt chin.
I got that one.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever received upon that.
Yeah, but apparently Missy also, like, you know, had a lot of verbal threats with that and was very concerned about
I pass it on to
talking
police.
about it.
Nothing much more I can do because that's a police matter. But I'm also aware that it's a time of day where nothing happens.
Yeah. Said you're headed to Sandy.
Yeah, to meet up with somebody.
I'll steal a ride.
Hey,
You need to pass this on to PHS. They've made that derivative now. Because she's a trainee doctor.
would it be... So she's a training doctor now, is that why?
She's been a training doctor for a while, I think. But, they've made the
Oh, okay, 'cause-
derivative. There is nothing I can do, and I'm going to tell you right now. There's nothing I can do because of mindsets.
Oh, okay, because yeah, I
You need to
didn't
bring it
know that
with
she was a
Cricket.
training doctor.
Bring it with Cricket.
Yeah, okay. Is there any point going to Chris about it, or just go straight to Chris?
Well, you can try going to Chris. If nothing seems resolved, then you can, or try going to Stella about it.
Because, yeah, I feel like all my talks with Chris fall on deaf ears.
Well, if you don't feel like anything's being done, then you need to bring it up to,
Because, yeah, I feel like chain of command's a little bit weird right now. It's hard to say who to go to.
it's weird because it's been made weird, and they've made the directive that that doctors are to be separated with punishments for doctors, and EMS to be separated for punishments within EMS.
Okay, so it
That was
doesn't
a
matter that
PHS
she's
and-
EMS primary? Because,
They
yeah, like,
have made
I
the
originally...
separation that EMS are to be punished for EMS actions, and PHS are to be punished for PHS actions. That is a PHS initiative that I did not agree to, but they have decided to go along with it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll see what I can do about getting in contact with someone else then, because...
I'm sorry that I'm getting slightly frustrated,
Yeah.
but there is nothing I can do, and absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's at a time
Yeah.
of day that I'm struggling to figure out things.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, thanks for this. I'll see what I can do about talking to one of them then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Try talking to Chris, nothing happens, go on to Cricket. Because you don't
Okay,
see
yeah.
Bert or Stella.
Bert's protected Missy in
Yep.
the past.
Yeah.
There's no point telling me that, it's just supposed to go through chain of command, but he doesn't see them. I know that he protects Missy.
Yeah.
Like I said, there is nothing I can do and it's frustrating.
Yeah. Alright. Gonna take a nap. I'll see you around. Once you go to your meeting. I appreciate
I'm
you,
sorry
I
that I
know.
got frustrated with that. But
I know.
it's a frustrating topic and there's nothing I can do.
It sounds like it, and I'm sorry you have to deal with all that. And I know part of it is because of my debacle, so
That's why
sorry.
I couldn't say that to Alex. But the PHS have made that initiative that they're going to do it that way, so they can deal with it that way.
Yeah. I mean, she was on duty as EMS at the time, I think, but like, what? They want full control so they can let off people they want to let off and punish people they want punished.
Topic dropped, otherwise I'm going to get frustrated and it's going to sound very toxic.
Yeah. All right. I love you, Aya, and appreciate you.
Thank you, Ren.
You want to ride the rest of the way up the street?
No, I'm good walking.
Okay. Give a good one.
Hi, sorry, can't speak with patient. Hi, sorry
Hello.
about that. You got me literally just as I was about to put some bandies on some people.
Okay. Do you want to come to Central and we can... Central,
I am.
Sandy. Sandy.
Oh God, yes, I definitely can.
Trust me,
I
Central will be a black hole at the moment, very soon.
oh, don't say that. Don't say it like that.
It will be a black hole.
Oh great, oh joy. Okay, give me a second. I might come and clock off and come up like that because I've got a pizza coming.
I mean, just do lights and sirens up here. Just do lights.
Okay, I'll be there in a sec.
Okay.